Hello and welcome to Blytheway Business News. There's been a lot of stuff in the media in recent days, if not weeks, about rare earths, with America and Europe and other nations getting concerned about security of supply as we move into this transition to the green economy, the carbon neutral economy, the carbon free economy, and also for even defense applications. I'm therefore delighted to welcome onto the show today, with great timing, Will Dawes, who's the Chief Executive of Mkango Resources. Mkango has a rare earths deposit in Malawi. The company is listed both in London on AIM and on the Toronto Stock Exchange on the venture market. Will, great timing. Welcome back onto the show.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the rare earths deposit, but today you've also announced, very significantly, the development of a separation plant in Europe, in Poland, that's going to create a rare earth supply chain here inside Europe. You're doing it with Gruppo Azoty. Tell us a few things about that. Why are you joining it with Gruppo Azoty? Why and why in Poland?
Well, this is a culmination of a process we went through to identify the most suitable site for a separation plant, a site with the lowest possible cost. So we reviewed a number of sites in Europe and elsewhere, and this site ticks all the boxes. I mean, there's utilities on site, there's the necessary reagents on site. We think it'll be a very highly competitive site from an operating cost perspective, working with the leading chemicals and fertilizer company in Poland, and second largest fertilizer producer in Europe. So yeah, this site ticks all the boxes, the right partner, right jurisdiction, and close to market.
As I said in my introduction, that there is this increasing, I suppose anxiety is the word, about the supply of rare earths. Explain to us why are the Europeans, why are the Americans getting anxious about rare earths, and why are they so important in this green transition?
Well, production of rare earths, it's very concentrated. Processing capacity is very concentrated as well in China. And there's very few advanced stage rare earth projects which are getting to a stage where they could fill this supply demand gap. And there's very few processing facilities outside China. So this is against the backdrop of this increasing demand from electric vehicles, from wind turbines. So rare earths are used in these green technologies, and so they're critical for other applications as well. So I think that's really this concentration of supply against the backdrop of very substantially increasing demand and accelerating demand from green technologies.
All right, so you're going to work with Gruppo Azoty. You're going to hopefully build this separation plant in Poland. What are the next steps to get the plant up and running?
Well, next steps are we're working with experts in the field of rare earth separation. There is limited expertise in this sort of technology outside China. And we're working with Carister, who have a lot of experience in rare earth separation. We're working with local engineering firms, and we're working with Senet, part of the DRA group as well. So the next step is to extend the studies that we've completed to date. We've completed a lot of scoping studies and due diligence on this site. So really next steps are an extension of that. And those studies will run in parallel with the feasibility study for Singway in Malawi as well.
I have to ask you this. How are we going to pay for it? How is this going to be funded?
So this will be funded out of working capital, but we are discussing with strategic partners to sort of take it to the next stage. So those discussions are ongoing, and we're seeing a lot of interest in developing supply chains. So yeah.
And what timing are we looking at?
So this will run in parallel with Singway, with the development in Malawi. So we'll look to complete all the feasibility studies and the development following those stages for the Singway Hill Rare Earths project.
Now, many people watching this program will know Mkango as a mining company. It may come as a bit of a surprise that you're now going to be building the separation plant. Just give us a bit of a sense of how this strategically plays for Mkango's investors. Mining, a process plant. I'm sure you've got other elements in there as well. Just give us an overview of the strategic approach to this.
So this is part of a strategy. It's a mining, refining, recycling strategy. So we have all those elements in place. So we're obviously completing a feasibility study for a rare earths project in Malawi, and that's progressing very well. That will produce a mixed rare earth carbonate, which will feed into the separation plant in Poland to produce a neodymium and praseodymium oxide products, together with a heavy rare earth enriched mixed rare earth carbonate. So we'll be producing both light and heavy rare earths. They're all key for these green technology applications. And then on the recycling side of things, we are invested in a company called Hypermag. It's a UK-based company. They have the IP and know-how to recycle rare earth magnets. So there's three elements to the strategy. And I think this is, the whole strategy is developed along the lines of how we can compete in the market. You've got to have a low-cost operation, low-cost site in terms of separation, and a route to market in terms of proximity to market, for example. In terms of recycling, we think recycling of rare earth magnets, that is a very effective way to compete in that part of the supply chain, in the magnet end of the supply chain.
Is there any update you can give us today on Singway Hill in Malawi? What's happening on the ground down there?
Well, we're making great progress with Singway. We announced recently completion of flotation piloting. In terms of work that's underway at the moment, the feasibility study is underway. That's been, the lead engineer is Senet, which is part of the DRA group. We have the environmental, social, and the health impact assessment that's underway. And so we're full steam ahead on the feasibility study, and that will really run in parallel with what we're doing on the separation plant. They're complementary, and we see a lot of value being created by those sort of synergies as well.
So, well, I'm going to ask you finally to be very objective, very, very objective. Why should investors, why should viewers look at Mkango and get excited about the company?
Well, we've got a fantastic backdrop at the moment with rare earth prices very strong. We've got a very good supply-demand outlook with this growth coming through in electric vehicles and wind power, sort of post-COVID stimulus packages happening in the global economy. So very positive demand outlook. We're an advanced stage project. There's very few advanced stage projects out there, and certainly ones with this sort of integrated strategy, mining, refining, and recycling. Lots of news flow coming up. We've got the hydrometallurgical piloting to come. Big milestone, the bankable feasibility study. We'll have news coming out on the separation plant, news coming out on Hypermag and the refining, and also we'll have results from our recently completed rutile exploration program as well. We made a discovery in Malawi focused on rutile. So lots of news flow, undervalued versus the peer group, and lots of exciting times to come.
Will, thanks for that. That was Will Dawes, Chief Executive of Mkango Resources, as I said, listed on AIM and on TSXV with a ticker of MKA. The Mkango strategy of mine, refine, recycle looks like it could be putting a smile on politicians' faces from Washington across to Europe, where they start to bring rare earths into the marketplace. That's it for Blytheway Business News for today. Thanks for watching.